So today I made this beautiful, delicious blueberry lemon loaf. It came out perfect and just in time for spring, which is right around the corner. It's also my favorite season. Let's get into the recipe. First, you want to start off by melting 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This is going to be for the crumb topping. You want to pour the melted butter into a small bowl and add 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And then we're going to add 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour and a pinch of salt. You know when you go to a local bakery and you get a muffin and it has that delicious crumb on top? Yeah, that's what we're making. Go ahead and mix it all up until the flour is incorporated. It'll be a little dry and hard, but that's what we want. Once that's all mixed up, we're going to place this in a refrigerator and get started on our loaf batter. To a large bowl, we're going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. The good thing about this recipe is all the ingredients for the batter go right into one bowl. If you pour the dry ingredients into the measuring cups, it gives you a more accurate measurement. Next, we're going to add the zest of 1 clean lemon. Make sure you only use the bright yellow part of the lemon. The pale yellow and white part is very bitter and we do not want that. After you're done zesting the lemon, you can rub the zest and the sugar together for a few minutes between your fingers to enhance the lemon flavor. But this step is completely optional. It turns out good either way. Next, you want to add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I almost had just enough for this recipe, so I had to make a quick store run because my kids were definitely counting on me for this dessert today. And as you can see, I am pouring the flour into the measuring cup instead of packing it in, just for a more accurate measurement, but a food scale would be best. Next, you want to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cups or 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter, softened. Make sure to cut them into small squares. This makes it easier to mix. A good rule of thumb to keep in mind is salted butter is for cooking and unsalted butter is for baking. Once all those ingredients are in, we're going to mix this until the butter is incorporated. My butter wasn't fully softened, which is okay. It still works. It just takes a little more time to mix. Sometimes baking isn't necessarily a skill thing, it's a patience thing, which I guess is still a skill because my patience comes from the Lord himself. I had to pray for this. Once that's mixed up, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and add in the eggs one at a time. Then we're going to mix that up. You can just do vanilla extract, but this way it deepens all the flavors and adds that little extra pizzazz. Altogether, we need 3 eggs, and speaking of that patience, I went ahead and added the rest of the eggs, but you can add 1 at a time. Mix until everything is incorporated. It will be a little thick, but that's okay, just keep mixing. Once everything is creamed together, we're going to add the juice of 1 lemon. My lemon had no seeds, which was strange, but I'm not complaining. Once the lemon juice is added, we're going to go ahead and mix that up, and while we're mixing it, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of room temperature milk. If you ever followed a recipe exactly and it still didn't turn out right, this might be why. Scooping an ingredient like flour directly from the container can give you up to 25% more than what the recipe calls for, even with the right measuring cup. So if you don't have a food scale, always spoon or lightly pour it and then level it. Just don't pack it down. It makes such a difference. Baking is science, and a little extra flour can completely change your texture. And this is coming from experience. Next, we're going to add our blueberries. I added about 1 cup of blueberries, but before adding them to the batter, I would recommend tossing tossing them in about 1 to 2 teaspoons of flour or so, just enough to coat them. This helps keep them from sinking to the bottom while they bake. If you're using fresh blueberries, just coat them lightly. If you're using frozen, don't thaw them first. Just toss them in flour while they're still frozen and fold them in gently so your batter doesn't turn purple. As you can see, I completely forgot this step, and at the end you will see how the blueberries sunk to the bottom during baking. Now that our batter is done, we're going to grease a loaf pan, and I would definitely recommend using parchment paper to help transfer it out of the pan once it's done baking, but I didn't have any more unfortunately, so I just greased my pan and prayed for the best. You also want to make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and this bakes for about 1 hour, and cooling time is about 35 to 45 minutes. This part, I'm just leveling it in the pan with the back of the spoon without pressing it too much. Now for the toppings. It's time to get that crumb topping we made out of the refrigerator, and using a spoon, break it into small crumbs. It does clump together in the refrigerator, and then I like to top mine with a little bit of extra blueberries, and then I'll add the crumb on top of that. Once everything is added, we're going to go ahead and pop that in the oven, and here's how it turned out. Now for the last step, we're going to make the glaze. To a bowl, you want to add the juice of 1 lemon. Squeeze the lemon juice first just in case there are seeds. It's easier to get them out when there's just lemon juice in the bowl. As a kid, I was told that if I ate a seed, that fruit would grow inside my stomach, so for a very long time, I believed that. Was anyone else told that as a kid? Once all the lemon juice is squeezed, you want to go ahead and remove those seeds, and then to the lemon juice, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. You can swap this out for milk. Next, we're going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar. You can pack this in. Mix it until everything is combined and smooth. Mine was more yellow than I wanted, so I went ahead and added a bit more powdered sugar to make it whiter. If you don't have powdered sugar, you can just add 1 cup of regular sugar to a blender with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and blend it. Powdered sugar is just regular sugar that has been grounded into super fine powder. Now our glaze is done. This is exactly what I wanted. Once the loaf is cooled, I like to add more blueberries around the perimeter of the loaf just for aesthetics, so you can skip this step if you'd like. Now we're going to pour the glaze all over the loaf, letting none go to waste. Baking is therapy for me, so I just want to be real for a second. This journey of posting content and sharing my love for cooking, it hasn't always been easy. I had to pray a lot for patience, for courage, and peace because I knew that not everyone would understand or support me. I held off for a long time because I was worried about judgment, especially from old friends, which is crazy looking back. But I also found so much encouragement and support from the community I've built here with Foodie Mom, and honestly, it's been such a blessing to turn something I love, like cooking, sharing recipes, making memories, into something that connects with all of you. It reminds me that sometimes the things that scare us the most are the things God wants us to step into. And stepping out of my comfort zone has been such a blessing. Last year, I was able to do an outreach that fed over 150 people, and that's small compared to what else God has in store, so I'm excited. Make sure you stay tuned until the end of this video because I have a special review at the end. But we're not done yet. A strawberry version is coming soon. Special request from my mom. So if you enjoyed this recipe, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss it. Comment below if you're team blueberry or team strawberry. Thanks for watching.
Actually, that's really good. Good.
You like it?
Yeah.